So they bamming at the door, y'all. So when they come bamming at the door, I try to get up and put my clothes on, or I'm getting up to put my clothes on. Guess what he doing? He got up and put his clothes on, flew past me. When he flew past me, and opened that door, they pulled him outside and threw him in handcuffs. They asked him what his name was. He told them what his name was. They didn't say he was up under arrest. They didn't say none of that. So by the time I get out the door, y'all, I know what to say. I know the questions to ask. I know all of these things. So he comes and he's like, the agent come up to me and I'm like, do y'all have an arrest warrant? They're like, no. Do y'all have a search warrant? They're like, no. So I'm like, why is he being detained? So now the agents are coming to ask me, who you with? Who you with to him? And he like, that's my wife, that's my wife. So they pulled me to the side, y'all, and they're like, do you know he's a bad guy? He has a whole nother family, this and this. Like they really throwing salt on him. And I'm like, no, I don't know nothing about, because I'm playing green to the whole thing. I'm like, I don't know anything. They're like, yeah, he just got you in this situation. You don't know anything about him. He's a horrible guy. He's a horrible person. I already know this, y'all. So they let me go back and talk to him, and he just trying to prep me. You know what you got to do. You got to be strong for the family. But I'm already doing it. I'm already trapping harder than you is. You just spending the money, and I'm doing all the work at this point. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to the trap. So um, I called his attorney. I tell him they got him in custody or they detained him. His attorney was like, you got to get them due diligence to bring whatever paperwork they gonna bring. So like 6 hours later, y'all, they finally bring an arrest warrant and a search warrant from my house. So when I see the search warrant and the arrest warrant, I see my two co-defendants at the top. My co-defendants was at my house at the time and they didn't even get picked up. They left. So um they get picked up later that day, but they go straight to my daughter's room, and I'm like, "Why y'all going in there?" Oh, the money and the drugs is in there. The baby mama had done told these people that all the money and the drugs was in my baby room because she had done heard from the streets that my daughter room was nice. It was excellent. Like we had done fix it up nice, and I'm like, really, like super petty, but that's neither here nor there because I was already used to that from her. So they got holes all in my baby room. Y'all, they find no money, no drugs, no nothing. But they do take all of his jewelry. They don't take none of mine at the time. I'm gonna put a picture up and show y'all me before I went to jail. Um, but they do come take my ring. The agent come right up. He was like, "Who bought you that ring?" And I'm like, "What you mean who bought it?" Because I know not to admit to anything. And they was like, "Well, we think he bought it for you." And they politely took it off my finger and put it in the evidence bag. And they let us talk for a little while longer, and they took him to jail. And I didn't hear from him for like maybe 7 hours to after that. And then when he finally called me, he was telling me what it was. But by then, my co-defendants done got picked up.